All right, here we are on page 2. Number 5, a cat stuck in a tree and a fireman tries to rescue it. Based on the figure, if a fireman climbs to the top of the ladder, how far away is the cat? So if you can kind of see, let's see, we'll make it a little bit bigger here. You have a right triangle, obviously, and then you have this line going across. Right, so the 46 is really supposed to be right here, from there, there. And you have to do that X. So very similar to the problem on the front page, we can set this up as 30 over 40 equals X over 46. Okay, and the reason we can do these pieces is we're not involving the lengths here or here. Otherwise, we'd have to do them as two triangles. So cross multiply, you're going to get 40x equals 30 times 46, which is 1380. 1380 divided by 40 is about 30, let's give me a fraction, 34.5. Okay, simple problem, just set up a proportion part to part. Number 6, find the missing lengths of X and Y of the gray parallelogram below. So we need to find the length, let's see, for this parallelogram here that has two 30, 60, 90 right triangles, special right triangles on each side. Okay, so a couple things here. You see at the bottom they give you a total length of 10 square root of 3, which is the entire thing. Part of the parallelogram and then obviously part of the 30, 60, 90. So it might seem a little confusing, but a couple things here. 90 degrees, 90 degrees. We know that means that these are going to have to be 90 degrees. So at the very least it's a rectangle. But if you think about the way this is going to set up, you have 10 square root of 3 going all the way across the top 2. And then with the parallelogram, like X, this line is going to be the same as this. This piece and this piece are going to be the same. Long way of saying this is going to set up into a square because there's really no other way. Everything matches on each side. So let me kind of erase all the things I drew to set this up. The key to that, though, is that means that this is going to be 10 square root of 3. Now, in the 30, 60, 90 right triangle, you have x, 2x, x squared root of 3. If this length is 10 square root of 3 and you get x squared root of 3, hopefully you see that means x equals 10. So it's 10 here, 10 here. Now, that does not mean that y is square root of 3 because you have a 10 already. It simply means that 10 plus something else would give you the same value. Now, as far as this x, because my special right triangle x was 10 and this is 2x, x is going to be 20. I know there's two different x's here, but the x from the special right plugs into that. And then to get y, what you could basically do is subtract that. And on the calculator, you'll get a decimal answer more than likely. 10 square root of 3 minus 10, which is approximately 7.3. because if you multiply 10 times the square root of 3, you get about 17.3, which makes sense with what we're doing here. Okay? So not a difficult problem, and again, you're also going to have multiple choice answers for stuff like this, so we'll have to see how that works out. Last one, the mascot holds the end of a kite string 4 feet above the ground. The string makes an angle of elevation of 38 degrees. If 55 feet of string are left out, how high off the kite? How far off the ground is the kite? So 55 feet of string, 38 degree angle of elevation, you need X. Pretty straightforward trick here. So opposite over hypotenuse. So sine of 38, opposite over hypotenuse. 55 times sine of 38. This is riveting. Sorry, 55 times sine of 38 is 33.9. But then don't forget to add the 4 here, 37.9 feet. Okay? All right, moving on to the next page.